Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So this week we're in part 3 of the Newcrest series where I'm rebuilding it to look like Bob's Burgers or as close as I can get it. So today we're going to be building the gym, which is in one episode that's right next. It's on the right hand side of Bob's Burgers. That lot is always constantly changing. If you watch the intros, it actually changes every time or it's up for lease. So I made it a gym this time because there is an episode about it. So I just rolled with that because like I could totally make a gym in The Sims. The other time that I saw it, it was like either a candle making place or also like a VR game place, and I didn't feel like I could make a whole store out of that. So we're gonna roll with the gym. And if you have that little trait that I put in my last video, which I'll also have it in the description of this one to have live-in businesses, that this is a possibility. It is playable. So let's jump into the build. Let me show you what I did, and yeah, let's just get right into it. So we started off, like I said, on the one on the right. Now I did move everything over so that I had those three same sides, like I just wanted it to be as close. I think in the big lot on the corner there, I'm going to put a park or something. I know that that's not in Bob's Burgers, but we're going to roll with it. You know what I mean? So in here, we're going to start off with a box because like I've said in other videos that I've done in this series, every single one of these houses is meant to be really, really close to each other. We can't do that in The Sims, at least like with the individual lots the way that I'm doing it. So I didn't really want to deal with it too much. And I made it as if. So like if you really wanted to, I'm sure you could find a way to combine all of them onto one lot. I wouldn't do that, but I I made them relatively boxy, okay? And I don't put a lot on the outside because they're supposed to be alleyways. So imagine the little spaces between the lots as exaggerated alleyways. That's what I'm thinking. There's some windows on the sides just for like some lighting's sake. But anyways, we're starting on the base floor. I love doing this little curve in right there. I did not really look at some like reference photos on this. I know that there's another like cove, kind of like how I did in the front there. And I know that that's not on top of the door, which I think it is in the show. I can't remember. I don't remember that building the best because you don't see it super often. So, and I didn't look up reference photos. I was just going off memory. Now, this I felt like was probably about the same size as the lot really was inside of Bob's Burgers, like to be honest with you, because as I was placing things and remembering back the episode and like the interior, this made a lot of sense to me. So it's basic tones, just like I feel like every gym I've ever been to, but I obviously don't go to the gym. So take it with a grain of salt. I did use quite a few packs, I believe. I don't try to limit these by packs. I try to go by vibe. But I also try not to use like a ton of packs because I also want people to be able to play with it if they want to. So in here, I put a little yoga studio with a little instructor mat and stuff. And I have a personal save where I'm just like messing around in it. And I wanted to have one of my Sims live here just for funsies because I want to see how it works with a live-in business. I don't know how they work 100% yet. So I would love to try it out. I'm excited to play with it. I know I say that about like every build, but this one I am pretty excited for because I don't ever take my Sims to the gym. I normally just buy gym equipment and have them do gym stuff at home. Like I don't know. Like that's just always what I've done. And then I realized I put a bunch of treadmills and I was like, I need bathrooms. Like there's no bathrooms in here. And what gym doesn't have bathrooms? In hindsight, I probably could have put some lockers, but then I would have had to use another pack. And I was just like, I'm not trying to use a ton of packs. Like honestly, like I wasn't trying to make it every pack in the game. So there's two bathrooms. They're set up the same. I put a little shower in them and a sink and a toilet, and that's about it. There's really nothing like overtly exciting about them, but they are pretty cute. So we have a little like reception desk, even though it's kind of, you don't need one at a gym in The Sims. I put some vending machines so that they could get some food. I wish we had water fountains in The Sims. I never thought about it till I was doing this build, but I really wish we had like the school water fountains. I can't believe that that's not in the game, or maybe it is and I don't see it, but I have never seen that in The Sims, and I would really like something like that. Although I know that your Sims don't technically need water, I want it as like a decoration, like a wall decoration. Because when you're making a gym or you're making like a cafe or something, or even like a school, like they have, at least when I went to school, they had like the water fountains. I think most of them are refillable stations now, but from what I remember, there was a water like thing, and I wish that we could like add some more realism, I guess, into The Sims. Even if it's just in the form of decoration, I like the idea of being able to have that because I think it would have helped tie some more stuff together in this build specifically. Um, And even in high schools, I feel like that's like so common at high schools. So I would love to see something like that. Uh, I didn't realize how big it was because gyms I feel like are always a really big like warehouse and then like equipment, but there's always a lot of room around it. I don't feel like gyms are ever crowded equipment wise. I feel like there's always a good amount of space. So when I came to furnishing the second and third floors of this building, I kind of struggled, I'm not going to lie, because I didn't know where to put things and I didn't know how many people I wanted to live here. So I could have also turned it into like a residential rental situation. And I decided not to because I already did that with Morts and I didn't really want to do it again. However, I did build this in a way on the second floor, third floor, second or third floor, that one of the rooms could be sublet out. Like it has like maybe a vacation room for something, or maybe someone's staying. You could have stayover guests and like multiple because of the way like the beds are situated. I think there's like 6 beds total in this build. So you could have a lot of Sims here. You could have a full household live here. I feel like there's enough stuff for them to do, especially with the gym downstairs. I think that that would just be amazing. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what happened. I put some archways. I obviously needed an office somewhere up here. I wasn't super sure where. But yeah, I'd used medium wall heights for this first and second floor, and then we switched up to a shorter wall height for the third, just because I wanted a rooftop like kind of like terrace, but not really. I just wanted an area where they could do gardening. If I was gonna play here, I always like to have gardening on a lot that I'm gonna play in, because I do gardening quite a bit with my Sims. So I would, I that's what I did. I ended up putting a gardening stuff on the roof with like a grill or something like that. Now, I want to know though if you guys have the same issue with grills that my Sims do and they just only use the grill forever even when there's food that they've made, they'll just keep grilling things and I have to not put a grill in most of my builds because they won't stop grilling. They won't use anything else. I've had times where my Sims will grill until they're dead because they won't take care of their needs because they're just grilling. And I didn't tell them to do that. I don't know if that's a me issue or if that's like a universal thing, but I can't use grills anymore in my actual builds that I play in because my Sims will die from using it. They just won't do anything else except to grill. And they won't even eat the food. It'll all just go rotting and then they get all upset. And I don't know what's going on and I can't seem to fix it. Either way, so I don't play with grills, but there is one on the roof if you play with it, if you like to play with grills. Bookcases are kind of my other thing that I'm having a problem with right now, especially with these modular ones, because I can't delete them or move them after they've been placed on one another, like individually. And that's really frustrating because I had messed that bookcase up and I needed it to just be different. And it kept throwing a better exceptions error. It wouldn't let me delete it. It kept putting it back where it was going. That's not where I wanted it to go. And it just wouldn't stop. So I just kind of gave up. I don't know why I don't know how to fix that or like why it happens, but that has been an issue I have been having for the last couple weeks. This kitchen is super tiny. I didn't want a big kitchen. I didn't really intend for the Sims to spend really too much time outside of the actual gym. Um, I could have made a bigger kitchen by all means. I think initially I wanted the kitchen to be in the back corner of this lot on the second floor and make like the second floor like a living area type of situation, I think is what I was going for. So there's some sized up paintings, we've got like a rug, just some really basic stuff, nothing insane. I didn't want to do a bunch of like, I didn't want to put a ton of decoration. And that's literally because I put an easel and everything else in the back in like the little activity room. Because like I've said in other builds, I really like to have my Sims paint things and then put that up on the wall as decoration. Because I'm at the point now where the wall decoration and like the paintings and stuff in the Sims, I've just used them so many times that I need something like new. And the Sims, when they paint, you can just put up kind of whatever they paint. So I like to do that a lot more than just use the base decorations, even from the packs. Some of them are really cute. Like I really like the one from Book Nook and like the one from Dream Home Decorator is really good too. There's a lot of really good swatches in that one with some pretty colors. Uh, so yeah, I mean, like I said, all the base stuff is pretty much solidified in this. If you downloaded it and didn't have all the packs, it really wouldn't be the end of the world. It's just some decoration stuff that you wouldn't get, and like the toilets, because those are from the workout or the fitness pack, because I used some of their equipment downstairs. I like the way it looks, so I used it. I always like to use this corner bathtub when I can because I think it's really fun and the Sims seem to really enjoy it as well. So I really do like to use that one. But yeah, we have one bathroom on this floor, and I think there's another bathroom on the floor above. There's no bedrooms on the second floor. It's all like living and like dining, and like that type of thing. It's that situation there. It's not like there's no bedrooms. I wanted people to live on the third floor, and then interact on the second. That was kind of the idea. So that's what I ended up doing. In here is a little office. So we have 2 desks and 2 chairs, and then I put some bookcases in the back with some candles on top. And that's just because they need somewhere, right? They need somewhere to work. They need somewhere to do homework, especially if your Sims are in college or if they have kids. They need a sitting area that the kids can sit down and write. And I think they choose desks over everything else. And I like to have my Sims sit at a desk when they do it. I feel like they get less distracted with everything else going on. So in here, I could not find the woodworking table. I couldn't remember what it was called. It's literally called woodworking table, but for some reason, when you search it, it doesn't come up. So it took me a second to find it, but I did finally find it. I thought it was called workbench. It's not. I don't know what it was, and I never can remember what it's called. I always lose it. So there's a little bit of activities in that room. Left the walls blank so that your Sims could paint stuff and you could put it up on there. This is going to be the dining area. I was thinking about putting the kitchen back here and like wrapping it, but I always do such a big kitchen and I never do small kitchens. So I ended up just doing a small kitchen with a big dining room and a lot of open space. So if you have kids in this build, they could like walk around. I put a bar because some of my Sims are in like a bartending type situation or they're building up their mixology stuff. So I put a bar on the second floor because I felt like it was the most appropriate. And then also outside, I know that I didn't show it, but I actually did put a mailbox and there is like the same flooring as the other 2 builds I've done. I just didn't show it in this video because I forgot to do it till after I stopped recording. So it is there, I promise. But yeah, that's the second floor. There's not a lot there. It's relatively like basic, but that's fine because like I said, it's meant to be played in and added to, not to be like off the wall, ready to go. I mean, it is, but like you obviously, if you want more decoration or something, you would need to add it. I try to keep the prices of these builds relatively low, so that people can play with them if they desire to. But yeah, was about the vibe. So this is a master bedroom with a walk-in, bathtub and shower situation. I love always putting on the master bedroom its own bathroom suite of full everything. It actually, I've realized now that I've done it in one build that I didn't do that. Like I didn't have an ensuite bathroom with the master. It causes a lot more problems than I expected it to. So I highly recommend it. The other rooms up here are going to be made into kids' rooms. So yeah, kids' rooms. Like I said, it doesn't follow Bob's Burgers exactly because it is the vibe of Bob's Burgers, or in this case, Pumpkin Iron, I think is what they called it. I'll have to look it up and see what it was actually called in the episode because I can't remember right now. But yeah, so these are the kids' rooms. They're not crazy. They're not like extravagant. This could also be teenager rooms. I put desks under these beds so that they could work on them. So there's a lot of desks in this house. There's a lot of working area. There's a lot of just kind of like messing around area. There's a lot of stuff that you could decorate or just leave it. It could be upscale. It could be downscale. It's really however you want to play. I just wanted to use it for the live-in gym opportunity. So that's kind of what happened. So here I'm trying to figure out where to put the ladder because I wanted it to be an upstairs thing because I wanted to have plants. So I put a little border on it. It's nothing crazy. Like I've said in some other episodes, I don't go balls to the wall with these because I know that Bob's Burgers itself isn't about the way everything looks. It's about the personalities of the people. At least for me, that's how it feels. I could be wrong on like what they intended, but that's how I feel. So I try not to add a ton of stuff to their build, but I like to make it enough that like there's some weird things that your character could absolutely do. You know what I mean? So I wanted to incorporate the vibe of Bob's Burgers and the whole series itself. I recently just got fully caught up on it, and I'm really sad because now I have to wait for more episodes to come out, and I don't like that. I like to just watch them as I'm working. So like most of the time when I'm building these things, I'm watching Bob's Burgers when I'm doing them and recording because one, it helps with like, oh, okay, it's kind of like this, or oh, I could build that next. So it's really nice to just kind of see it all. I put some warm lighting in here and a fish tank. I just needed to fill the space out and like the little meditation thing from Spa Day. This is the only bathroom on the third floor. There is a little family table. I never use those in my normal builds. Like I don't play with that in normal gameplay. I don't actually know if I really ever have. So I don't even really know how that little game table works. I need to figure it out because I feel like it would be a really good like addition to a lot of my builds. in a lot of my play if it works. We got the little drink tray, some tea, you know, just some like a wet bar situation, midnight snack type thing on the 3rd floor, because if they want something, they'd have to go all the way downstairs, and like that's a nightmare. Figured it would just be easier to put like a tea brewing station and the little drink tray upstairs. Yeah, I mean those counters I think are from Dream Home Decorator. But most of the decoration you see is going to be from assorted packs. Most of the base stuff is stuff that I either part of the pack that I use on the 1st floor, or I'm just using it for the one-off thing. I try to keep most of the stuff I use within its own pack, if that makes sense, like as I build, so that you don't need a ton of packs. It also limits myself to like remember not to just use anything I see. So anyways, we got some like sunbathing stuff up here. I didn't realize how big this area is, so it is pretty much empty. You could do whatever you wanted up there. I just wanted some gardening plots. That was literally it. So that's the build. I know that it's not a ton, but honestly, we don't know a ton about that building itself because it's constantly getting changed over. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think I'm going to leave the video here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay? All right. Bye, everyone.